Hello students, today we are going to start fourth part of the lecture series. We are studying chapter number 9 and today the lecture flow will be like the first topic we are going to study is total internal reflection, and then second is application of TIR. TIR is a total internal reflection. In this four applications are there. First one is mirage, second is sparkling of diamond, third one is total reflecting prism, and fourth one is optical fiber. So let us start. The first thing we are going to study today is total internal reflection. Let us understand this phenomena with the help of a diagram. Suppose we have two mediums, denser and rarer. A ray of light is moving from denser to rarer medium. At the point of incidence, a normal is drawn. When a ray of light goes from denser to rarer medium, what happens? The refracted ray bends away from the normal. So, refracted ray will move like this. Let us draw the angle of incidence and angle of refraction. Now what happens if we increase the angle of incidence? Let us make another ray which is at greater angle of incidence. Now we have greater value of angle of refraction also. In this case, angle of incidence and angle of refraction both are greater than the previous ones. Why is it so? Because we have increased angle of incidence and angle of refraction has to be greater than angle of incidence. So if we keep on increasing the angle of incidence, the refracted ray will bend away from the normal and keep on moving towards the surface. Now what happens if we, for a particular value of angle of incidence, the ray of light moves along the surface, means it will make 90 degree with the normal. For this value of angle of incidence, the ray makes 90 degree with the normal, and this angle is called critical angle, and it is represented by C. So in this case, angle of incidence is equal to critical angle, and obviously in the previous two cases, angle of incidence was less than critical angle. So what we have learned from here is, whenever the ray of light goes from denser to rarer, then for a particular value of angle of incidence, the angle becomes angle. For a particular value of angle of incidence, the refracted ray makes 90 degree and 90 degree with the normal. So this value of angle of incidence is called critical angle. If ray makes less than critical angle, then what happens? It will be refracted in the other medium. So let us define the critical angle first of all. So when a ray of light goes from denser medium to rarer medium, then for a particular value of angle of incidence, the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. This value of angle of incidence is called critical angle of the denser medium. Now what happens if a ray of light goes from denser to rarer medium at an angle greater than critical angle? Now the ray will not go in the second medium. In fact, it is reflected back in the first medium itself. Here the angle of incidence is greater than critical angle, so what happens? The ray of light is reflected back in the denser medium. And here the law of reflection will be followed, so I will be equal to R. So when a ray of light goes from denser medium to rarer medium at an angle greater than critical angle, then what happens? The ray is totally reflected back in the denser medium. This phenomena is called only total internal reflection. So let us define it. We say when a ray of light goes from denser to rarer medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, then the ray of light is totally reflected back to the denser medium. This phenomena is called total internal reflection. You see, for total internal reflection, sometime in the board examination, conditions are asked. Okay, what is the condition or what are the conditions for total internal reflection? So there are two conditions. First one is the light must go from denser medium to rarer medium, and the second condition is the angle of incidence must be greater than the critical angle. Both the conditions are there in the definition only, so you must remember the condition as well as definition. Now let us derive a formula for critical angle. At critical angle, what we see that angle of refraction is 90 degree. So at this, if we apply the Snell's law, we are going to have sin C upon sin 90 is equal to mu1 2. One is rarer medium, two is denser medium. This will be fixed for the whole chapter. One is rarer, two is denser. So sin C upon sin 90 is mu1 2. Refractive index of rarer medium, refractive index of 1 with respect to 2 means denser medium. So the value of sin 90 is 1. So what we are going to have from here, the sin C is equal to, in place of mu1 2 we can write mu1 upon mu2. So to remember, we must remember that sin C is equal to mu rarer upon mu denser, means refractive index of rarer medium upon refractive index of denser medium. Now what happens if the rarer medium is air? So for air, refractive index of air is 1, and therefore mu1 is equal to 1. So we write mu2 is equal to mu, and from the formula we are going to have sin C is equal to 1 upon mu. This is another form of the general formula, but this formula is applicable only when the rarer medium is air. Suppose the ray of light is moving from water to air, then we can apply this formula. One more very important point from here we must remember. And what is that point? We know that mu is inversely proportional to velocity of light in the medium. Means we all know the definition, mu is equal to C upon V. So from there we can write mu is inversely proportional to V. Means if in a medium the velocity of light is less, so what happens? The refractive index of that medium will be high. And if in a medium velocity of light is less, we say that that medium is optically dense. So optical density is actually represented by the refractive index only. If a medium has greater optical density, obviously its refractive index will be greater. So what we write from here, the medium of higher optical density, that means lower speed of light, has greater value of refractive index. We must remember, like suppose we have been given two refractive indices. One is 1.2, another is 1.4, and we have been asked that which medium has higher optical density. So higher optical density has higher refractive index. So 1.4 medium, the medium whose refractive index is 1.4, it is of higher optical density. This is a very important point, and this will help us to understand the further phenomena. Now let us move ahead, and we are going to study now the application of total internal reflection. The first thing we are going to study today is mirage. What is mirage? So mirage is an optical illusion, and you must have seen this view whenever you are moving on a highway. You see water is spread on the road, and the images of trees, poles, and other things which is side by the road on that water, in that water. You must have seen the visuals like this while moving on highway. So, but there is no water actually. When you move nearby, the water disappears. So this is called mirage. Mirage is what? Actually it is an optical illusion. It is an optical illusion observed in deserts or hot extended surfaces like a coal-tarred road, due to which a traveler sees shining pond of water in which surrounding objects like trees appear inverted. As you see the images of trees, poles, and other things in the water, but there is nothing, there is no water. That's why it is called illusion. How it works, let us understand. Now just see a diagram. Suppose this diagram is of desert. Now what happens? Since desert in the hot condition, hot weathers, desert is very hot. So the air nearby the desert surface is very hot. And we know whenever a substance is heated, it expanded. So hot air is expanded, and that's why its density is less. Whereas at some height, the air is not that hot, it is cold. So density of cold air is greater than density of hot air. Now what happens whenever a ray of light, suppose it is generated by the black ray of light moving in the cold air only, so it will move in a straight path. But when a ray of light passes into hot air, so what happens? It is moving from cold air to hot air. Cold air was denser, hot air was rarer, so it is moving denser to rarer medium. Now what happens? It is internally reflected and reaches to the observer. Observer sees a virtual image of tree as he sees the image in water. So for him it appears like shining pond of water, which is actually not there. That's why it is optical illusion. So this is what the mirage is. Now let us move ahead. We are moving to our second application, and that application is sparkling of diamond. Sparkling of diamond. If you have seen a diamond, then you must have noticed that it shines exceptionally bright. For the same size of glass does not shine like a diamond. Why is it so? It is actually due to total internal reflection. The refractive index of diamond is very large, about 2.42, and that's why its critical angle is very less, because sin C is equal to 1 upon mu. The faces of diamonds are so cut that the light entering in the diamond suffers total internal reflection repeatedly, and that's why the light is collected inside the diamond and comes out of the diamond from very few faces, and that's why diamond shines exceptionally in the direction of emerging light. For making you note, it is due to total internal reflection, as the refractive index of diamond is very high, therefore its critical angle is very small. The faces of diamonds are so cut that the light entering the diamond suffers total internal reflection repeatedly and hence got collected inside it, but it comes out through only few faces. Hence diamond shines exceptionally in the direction of emerging light. You must have studied this thing in class 10th also. So this is why the diamond shines. Now let us move ahead. The third one is total reflecting prism. Actually it is a right angle isosceles prism. Right angle prism, one angle is 90 degree. Isosceles means two sides are equal. So when two sides are equal, the other two angles will be 45 degree, 45 degree. This prism is used in three ways. Let us understand the ways. First one is to deviate a ray through 90 degree. If we have to deviate a ray through 90 degree. Now let us understand this particular application with the help of a ray diagram. This is your right angle isosceles prism, which is called total reflecting prism. If rays of light falls on a surface normally, then what happens? Since they fall normal perpendicular on the surface, no refraction takes place and they move on the other surface. Now at this surface they falls at an angle greater than the critical angle and they gets reflected inside the prism only. Now what happens? Again they falls on the surface normally, so they move straight, they suffers no refraction. So here we say that the rays suffers a deviation of 90 degree. This is the first way. Second way is to invert an image with deviation of rays through 180 degree. Now let us understand this one is, now the prism is kept in this manner. Two rays of light falls on the prism on a surface normal to the surface. Now what happens? They enter the prism without suffering refraction as they are coming normal to the surface. Now here the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. Actually the critical angle is 42 degree, and if you apply a bit of geometry you'll come to know that the angle of incidence here it is 45 degree. So what happens? That the ray suffers total internal reflection and they are reflected in the prism only. Again they falls on a surface, again their angle of incidence is 45 degree only. So what happens? They got reflected back and they move to the surface. Again they fall on the surface on the normally, they fall on the surface normally, and therefore they suffer no refraction and they move on a straight path. So here if you see image object, so when the rays are emerging out, the image is inverted. So here we deviate the ray by 180 degree and we invert an image also. Now the third application is to invert an image without deviating the rays. Without deviation, how the image of an object is inverted, let us see. Now the prism is kept in that manner. Rays falls on the surface. Now what happens? Here the angle of incidence is 45 degree, but what happens? Rays are coming from rarer medium to denser medium. So what happens? There is no total internal reflection. Rays got refracted and they falls on the bottom. Now what happens? Here the angle of incidence is greater than the critical angle. So they got total internal reflection, and again from denser medium to rarer medium, now the rays are moving but their angle of incidence is less than the critical angle, so this suffers refraction. Now here the image is inverted without deviation. The rays are not deviated but the image is inverted. So this is the third application of total reflecting prism. This prism is used in periscope, which is used in submarine. Now let us move ahead to our next topic and last topic for the day, and that topic is optical fiber. What is optical fiber? Let me remind. Have you seen this? Sometime before it was very much in trend. It is a decorative piece which was available in the market. At the bottom one light bulb is there, red color light or blue color light, and above this fiber like structure was there. And when the bulb glows, the tip of the fiber glows. You must have seen this in your house. Sometime before it was very much available in the market, but these times it was not there. So this is what the optical fiber is. Optical fiber consists of long quality composite glass or quartz fibers. Each fiber has a core material through which the light is passing and a cladding. Cladding is what? Cladding is a kind of coating only. Okay. Now let us define first of all the optical fiber. The optical fiber consists of many long quality composite glass or quartz fibers, and each fiber consists of core and cladding. Now the important thing is the refractive index of the material of the core is higher than that of the cladding. Means the core has higher refractive index than that of the cladding. Why is it so? Let us understand. This is your optical fiber. At the nearby the axis of the wire, you can see a light ray is moving in the fiber. One core is there, above that cladding is there, above that plastic coating is there. Now why is it so? Let us understand. Suppose the cladding is of refractive index mu2 and the core is of refractive index mu1. Mu1 is higher than mu2. Now why is it so? Suppose a ray of light is entering on the fiber as it has been shown in the diagram. Now what happens in the fiber when it strikes a surface? So from a material of mu1 refractive index, the light has tendency to go in a material of mu2 refractive index. But what happens? Mu2 is less than mu, means the light is moving from denser medium to rarer medium. Now what happens? The angle of incidence is greater than critical angle. Then what happens? The ray of light is reflected back in the core only, and it suffers total internal reflection along the fiber and finally comes out from the other end. So this is how the optical fiber works. For your notes, when the light is incident on one end of the fiber at a small angle, the light passes inside, undergoes repeated total internal reflection along the fiber and finally comes out. The angle of incidence is always larger than the critical angle of the core material with respect to its cladding. Even if the fiber is bent, this is very important, even if the fiber is bent, the light can easily travel through along the fiber. I hope it is clear why the cladding is of less refractive index, so that the light must go from denser to rarer medium when it is moving from core to the cladding. Now, application of optical fiber. The optical fibers are used in medical and optical examination, as well as they are used in optical signal transmissions. Optical fibers have also been used in transmitting and receiving electrical signals, which are converted into light by suitable transducers. What are transducers? Transducers are the device which converts energies from one form to another form. Like we convert an electrical signal into optical signal. So that is used by a transducer. Like, let me give an example. That your microphone, what it does, it converts sound signal into electrical signal. In the same manner, some transducers are there which convert electrical signals into optical signals. So this is all for today. Now let us see what we have learned today. The first point we have learned today is, at critical angle, the refracted ray becomes perpendicular to the normal. It moves along the surface and the angle of refraction becomes 90 degree. Second point is, when a ray of light travels from denser medium to rarer medium at an angle of incidence greater than the critical angle, the ray is reflected back to the denser medium. This is called total internal reflection. Third point, the formula we have learned. The relation between critical angle and the refractive index of the medium is given by sin C is equal to mu rarer upon mu denser. Very important formula. Fourth one is, the optical illusion that occurs in desert due to TIR is called mirage. We have learned. Fifth point we have learned today is, the diamond sparks due to repeated internal reflection as its refractive index is very high. What is the value of refractive index? It is about 2.42. Next point is, optical fiber used in communication. It is based on TIR, and the very important point about optical fiber is, the refractive index of the material of the core is higher than that of its cladding. The reason I have explained you. You must remember the reason also. It has been asked. It was asked in board examination also. Now, what is the home assignment for today? Can critical angle of any medium be pi by 2? Justify your answer. Critical angle, the value of critical angle can be pi by 2. Think. If it is yes, then also you justify. Give an example. And if it is no, then also justify your answer. Second one is, what is critical angle of water? The refractive index is 4 by 3. So from the refractive index you must calculate the critical angle of water. Third one is, what is the field of view for a swimmer who is 10 meters below the water surface? Given that the refractive index of water is 4/3 as I have told you. Next question is, why is the cladding in optical fiber of greater refractive index than that of core? I have explained in the points we have learned, it was also there. Fifth and last question is write some examples of TIA from day-to-day life. So this is all for today. Hope you are noting. Hope you are keeping notes, all the presentations, all the chapters, all the notes which I am giving you. You must note that. You must do the home assignment also. In the next video, we'll start refraction at spherical surfaces, and this is going to be very new for you. All the things we have learned till now, it was there in class 10th also. But from the next lecture, we are going to learn something new. This is all for today. Thank you.